Good afternoon, race fans. Welcome here for our 9th race of the 3rd season of the NCRA Duracell Cup Series as we get ready to go speedway racing yet again, this time at the Michigan International Speedway, a 2-mile racetrack. And this is going to be a fun race, too, because if you think back to the event that we had at Las Vegas, I think this is going to be very similar. We're going to see them double wide, 3 wide, maybe even 4 wide. The best part, they can keep it together. It's a spacious enough track in the corners that they can actually run like that consecutive laps and should be good racing all the way back through the field. Speaking of good racing through the field, though, how about last week's race at Pukekohe Raceway? Saw some great racing, saw some strategy play out. J Qualls picks up his 2nd career win of the Duracell Cup Series and the 1st of the season. That could very well lock him into a playoff position, but the driver we'll be definitely keeping tabs on today is J Thibodeaux. Needed a good run last week, was 35th in points, did not get it. He's 37th in points coming to this one. Let's go get the command.
Drivers, start your engines!
And the reason that I bring up Thibodeaux here at this particular track is because when we were at Las Vegas, he was the winner of the 3-wide photo finish. And so maybe coming back to a speedway track might be just the thing that Thibodeaux needs to be able to get back up into the top 30 in the standings. His teammate, William Brock, lines up on the pole for today's race alongside of Mitchell Collins. Both of those drivers are still looking for their first victories since season 1. Of course, William Brock started out the year with a victory in the Clash at Daytona, but it was a non-points event. A top 10, the point standings coming into this race are as follows. Zach Rogers, he had a good race at Pukekohe. Benny Watson did not, so Zach Rogers now takes the points lead over. Watson 14 points back. Patrick Smith still sits in 3rd. Dylan Young in 4th. Cole Deaver, after a solid top 10 outing, is currently in 5th. Levi McIntyre is 6th. Pole sitter William Brock 7th. Vince Almariego in 8th. Matt Haas in 9th. And Cody Lamas cracks the top 10, 51 points back behind points leader Zach Rogers. For our 8 previous winners, 7 of them still inside the top 30 in points. Zach Rogers, the points leader. Dylan Young in 4th. J Qualls jumps up to 13th after last week's win. Carter Friesen's 14th. Carson Gum, Daytona 500 winner, in 19th. Charles Sandfer, 22nd. And Nathan Ormond, 25th. Jacob Thibodeaux, like we mentioned, 37th in points coming into this one. And he is 20 points right now behind the cut line of 30th in the standings. He lines up 3rd on the running order, 2nd on that inside line, behind teammate William Brock. We'll see if good starting track position will finally get that team back on track in their quest to get back into the top 30 in the standings. Here we go, though. William Brock and Mitchell Collins will get us underway. Let's roll at Michigan. We're going to moving down there already. That was Jordan Lopez back there, who has won the last 2 Michigan races, back-to-back seasons. The 38 car has gone to victory lane at this racetrack, looking for 3 in a row. Brock, Thibodeaux, Rogers, they're going to check out as the top 3. Then you got a good battle for 3rd. It was 3 wide for a moment between Austin Kolano, Jack Mitchell, and Mitchell Collins. Kolano's going to take the 4th spot as now Nathan Hudson looks to make it 3 wide for 5th. Outside line's going to be the preferred line here today at Michigan. Usually is every season. And you can see that gave Collins the 5th position. Mitchell's going to try and use it to take 6th from Carter Friesen. And there you see down on the apron there's Charles Belding. You're going to see other drivers try and utilize the apron on the front straightaway, which is legal. At the speedways, the white line is not out of bounds on the front straightaway, so some drivers may risk it and try and make it 3 and 4 wide going into turn 1. Not sure if it's really going to help them, though. I think they're going to lose more spots than they'll gain. 4 wide here, Ryan Butcher, Adam Garcia, Bristol winner Nathan Ormond shoots up the middle. He'll take some spots as Shelton was the car on the extreme outside line. Further up, that's J Millz making a move to the inside of Jack Mitchell. That is for the 6th position. Mentioned about Jordan Lopez winning the first 2 races here at Michigan. Blue Oval Automotive, if Lopez cannot close the deal for 3 in a row, they'd love to at least continue to sweep here at this racetrack, which would be kind of like what S3 Motorsports has been able to do at ISM. 3 different races, 3 different winners out of the same team, and oh boy, Jordan Lopez got very close to the left rear quarter panel of Vince Almariego as he's in a battle right now for around the 12th position. There's Benny Watson going around his outside. Watson trying to take the points lead back from Zach Rogers, who is at this moment mired Oh no, he's not mired back in traffic, I'm sorry. I was looking for the bright green Monster Energy colors, but I forgot he's running the corn colors today, and he's up in the 3rd spot, actually under fire for that position. Mitchell Collins looking to the inside, cannot get it. Now, if you remember back to the past 2 seasons that we ran Michigan, not a whole lot of passing as the run went on because, as we stated, the outside line is the preferred line. You're going to see everybody migrating up to that top side, so if you're going to make a pass, you're going to have to try and make it around the outside of somebody, really, here. One of the few tracks we go to where being on the outside line picks you up positions. Look at Collins again, going to try the inside on Zach Rogers. If you're going to make the inside line work, you've got to continue the momentum off the corner onto the straightaway. And right now, Collins at least going to stay alongside of Rogers, but I don't know if he's going to be able to make the pass down here in 3 and 4. Especially if Kolano gets as big a run as he did and sticks it down the inside 3 wide. Well, Collins might make the inside line work. We'll wait and see here on the front straightaway. If he could get a little bit of draft here, maybe. Kolano's up on the outside. You got Mitchell down there, but you think he's too far back for his draft to count towards anything. And there you see Zach Rogers is going to clear and keep the 3rd position. Looks like these two have a little bit of a system worked out right now. Thibodeaux's already won this season. I know he would love a second victory, but I think William Brock wants his first win of the season more, and I think what Thibodeaux is thinking right now is if I just run with the 88 in this 2nd position, I'm going to gain quite a bit of points and get myself back in the top 30 in the stands. At the same time, a teammate goes to victory lane and gives a chance for at least 2 of the Northeast Motorsports teammates to get into the playoffs later on in the year. These guys start getting racy, Zach Rogers will be back up in this conversation. Let's drop back a little bit. Nathan Hudson and that Allegiant Air number 24 making some moves. Just trying to take the 9th position away from Matthew Rodriguez. That actually costs him. Vince Almariego able to get around his outside. And I think that's what a lot of this racing is going to be like, is capitalizing on somebody else's mistake. Capitalizing on somebody else trying to make that inside line work. They lose so much momentum off the corner. You can see right there, Nathan Ormond's going to jump up to the outside line after the 38 had to lift in 3 and 4. And now he's side by side for position. That's for, I believe, 14th. Charles Belding right there as well in the 91. Benny Watson continues to try and fight and claw his way up towards the top 10. He's made his way up to 12th. The guy he's trying to run down for the overall points lead is Zach Rogers, who's currently slotted very comfortably in the 3rd position. And of course for Benny Watson, right now his goal is to just find victory lane. Zach Rogers has already succeeded in doing so, so now Rogers' focus is on maintaining the points lead. He's already got one of his checkbox ticked off. Our Atlanta winner, Carter Friesen, right now a solid outing in the 7th position. Comes into this one 14th in the overall standings. So he has a Speedway win this season, and looking good right now. In that Elgato Corsair Chevrolet Camaro. Jack Mitchell. We keep harping on it, but we saw the miracle of Charles Sandfer getting his first career win at ISM earlier on this year. So I'm looking still at guys like Mitchell, like Almariego, like Adam Garcia. When are they going to get their first win of their career? Right now, Mitchell's having a great run. Currently in the 6th position. Jack Mitchell actually was the biggest loser in points last week. He's had a very consistent start to the season, but last week at Pukekohe, he dropped from 9th to 21st. Lost 12 spots in 1 week. So certainly looking to bounce back from that. Right now, Thibodeaux is the highest running rookie, but the Michael Norman Motorsports rookie of Austin Kolano also having a very good run in that 5th position. Kolano coming into this race currently in the 26th position in points, so he's inside the top 30. And I believe the caution may be out. Yes, it is. First time today the yellow flag will wave. It's on lap 10. Looks like we got some smoke lingering over in turn 3. So our first yellow flag of the day. And it looks like it may have been our ISM winner, Charles Sandfer. A lot of damage on both the front and rear of that Reese Chevrolet. Dylan Young also with some damage. Another former winner this season from Manassas. He's got some pretty significant left side damage. Might have just been a 2-car incident. Don't see any damage on any of these other drivers. My assumption is everybody's going to be coming to pit road. They ran 10 laps out there under green flag conditions. I think if you stay out on old tires, you're going to be a sitting duck, and William Brock will bring the entire field to pit road. This caution, I do not believe, will put us within our fuel window to make it the rest of the way, so this will definitely be a pit stop that if you nail it, you can gain some track position in terms of positions picked up or positions lost. But I think you're still going to have to come to pit road a little bit later on in this event. Let's go and take a look and see what brought out the caution for the first time today over in turn 3. This was back somewhat towards the rear of the field. This was just outside of the top 30. Charles Sandfer going to make a move here on teammate Cole Deaver. Got a good run out of turn 2, and then watch what happens here as he goes down to the inside. I think he realizes that he's way down. It's not going to help his entry into turn 3, so he moves up, and I think he thought he was going to be clear. Dylan Young had quite a bit of momentum on the top side coming into turn 3, and yeah, I think it's just a miscommunication there. Sandfer moved up, thought he was clear. His spotter probably told him he was clear, and unfortunately that wasn't the case. Dylan Young was there. And it looked like those two couldn't really get detached from each other, and Dylan Young actually got his left side damage going down into the passenger side of Cole Baker's 11. That's pretty significant damage there on Charles Sandfer. Not only does he have the back end all crunched up, but there was some contact between his nose and the nose of Dylan Young, and it buckled up the hood on that Reese Chevrolet, which is going to cause him some trouble as far as aerodynamic speed on the straightaways. I mean, fortunate for Sandfer, he does have that ISM victory. He comes into this race currently in the 22nd position in points. I think he's only 16 points ahead of the cut line, though, so he needs some other drivers to maybe have some issues here today, as he and Dylan Young, contact between those two, bring out the first caution of the day on lap 10. The pit strategy begins already as Patrick Smith, the rookie points leader, and the guy who comes into this race third in the overall standings, did not come to pit lane. So he will be off sequence with the rest of the field. He'll get the lead, he'll get the bonus point for a lap led, and he'll be getting us back underway over William Brock in second. Mitchell Collins jumps up to third. Fourth place is Zach Rogers, Austin Kolano in fifth. Jacob Thibodeaux's back in sixth, but his problems are worse than that. Not only did he lose about 4 spots on pit road, but he made some contact with somebody as well, and he's got some left side damage on that AAA Chevrolet, so I would be a little concerned about that. Jack Mitchell's going to line up 7th, Carter Friesen 8th, Matthew Rodriguez in 9th, and Jose Millz currently completes your top 10. We look a little bit further down the running order. It's Phil Parker 11th, Benny Watson in 12th. 13th is Nathan Hudson, 14th Nathan Ormond. Vince Almariego's in 15th, Jordan Lopez 16th, 17th Charles Belding, then Michael Norman, Jesse Turner, and Austin LaPlante are your top 20. Wondering if it was a gas and go for Phil Parker, because Phil was actually behind that wreck that we saw with Charles Sandfer and Dylan Young. So I think that might have been a gas and go for that team to gain him a lot of positions on track. Pace car is going to make the left-hand turn to pit road. We're going to go back green flag racing with about 36 laps left in this race. Like I said, they're going to have to pit at least one more time. I don't know if maybe Patrick Smith's trying to stretch it so that way he can just make it on one pit stop, but the green flag is back in the air here at the Irish Hills, and now we'll see what William Brock's going to be able to do as Thibodeaux off the pace. They're going to take him 5 wide going into turn 1. Oh, there's Jose Millz. He's in the grass with Phil Parker. Can they bring it back up safely? They do. Holy cow, look at Lopez fishtailing around there in front of Nathan Ormond. That was scary. And somehow they all made it through. Matthew Rodriguez had some right side damage, I noticed too, when he was in the middle of that 5 wide situation. And Thibodeaux is dropping like a rock. Got some cars up there into the wall. Thibodeaux's all the way back to the rear of the field, and that car is off the pace. Only getting up to about 175 miles per hour, while the leaders are 188 miles per hour through the center of the corner. So whatever damage, however sustained by Jacob Thibodeaux, it has affected him greatly. I remember under those first 10 laps, he was running in second behind William Brock. And now, he looks like he's going to be in line for yet another mediocre finish. Patrick Smith also did not get going on that restart. Don't know if maybe it was just the older tires, the difference between the 10-lap fresher tires that William Brock had, but Brock made quick work of Patrick Smith, sent him back to 5th place, battled for 2nd. Zach Rogers to the inside of Mitchell Collins. Austin Kolano waiting to see what happens here. Gets a nice run. He's got some good straightaway speed. It's the second time I've seen him be able to close in on a battle going into turn 3. And another driver that picked up a lot of spots on that restart was Benny Watson. He's now worked his way up into the 7th position. And I think he restarted, if I remember correctly, in 12th. So he picked up 5 spots on that restart. Kolano looking to the inside of Zach Rogers for 3rd. You can see the car get a little tight as he has to lift. Rogers able to stay in the throttle a lot longer on that outside line. It's going to keep 3rd place as Collins looking to maybe make a move here on William Brock. Mitchell Collins has only 1 victory in the Duracell Cup Series. Came back in Season 1. It was at a 1.5 mile speedway, but it was at a speedway nonetheless at Kansas. Zach Rogers going to try and get to the left rear corner panel, try a little side draft in his battle for 2nd. Got some good battling further back as well. J Millz, Matthew Rodriguez, Nathan Hudson all there, almost 3 wide. Michael Norman in the 18 also in the mix. Last week's winner, J Qualls, you can see him back there, making a move on T Wright. Now Norman going to try and move to the inside on J Millz. This is a battle, I believe, for 10th place as Matthew Rodriguez just moved by for 9th. Look at Benny Watson looking maybe 3 wide here. Be 3 wide for 5th. Now it's a battle between himself and Mitchell for 6th as Nathan Hudson now ducks it down 3 wide and puts Watson in the middle. It actually might have helped Watson. Yeah, that's going to give him a nice exit off of turn 2. Keep him and Mitchell in that battle for 6th. Nathan Hudson had to back out coming off of turn 2, and that brings Matthew Rodriguez to his outside for the 8th position. Remember, Patrick Smith has not come to pit road yet in this entire race. When he comes to pit lane, he'll give us a good idea of how far these drivers really can go as we're 3 wide for 2nd. Collins, Kolano, Rogers on the bottom. Wow, Zach got a nice run through the center of the corner. You saw Kolano there stuck in the middle. A lot of air disturbance around that machine as he was bobbing and weaving a little bit out of turn 2. 22 is trying to spin his race car around. At the same time, Zach Rogers to the inside was causing his car to probably not turn. So you got the front of the car trying to turn right. You got the back of the car trying to spin to the left. You definitely have your hands full as William Brock continues to show the way here. And I was kind of thinking about this too with William Brock. He spent most of this race out in the lead. And if you think of this in terms of a super speedway type race, usually the car out in front consumes the most fuel. Drivers behind are able to get the benefit of the draft. So while William Brock is out there getting laps led, getting that bonus point, getting a lap led bonus point as well, he's definitely getting maximum points at the moment, but at the same time, he's using up more fuel in doing so. And if we have that pit stop, that money stop under green flag conditions, he would probably have to be one of the first to pit lane. Catching a slow car, which I believe is Thibodeaux in the 33. He is. He's actually dead last. Even the damaged car of Charles Sandfer is running ahead of him and faster than he is, and they're all going to have to figure out where to go here down in turn 3. William Brock looks to the inside. Zach Rogers was all ready to go to the inside. He's going to move into 2nd place, I think. Kolano will move to third as Mitchell Collins got trapped behind the 33 and is going to lose a lot of positions as a result. Patrick Smith's going to get by him. Now look at this. So we're going to go 3 wide for the lead with Rogers, Kolano, and Brock. Kolano almost down there on the apron. We are 3 wide. Who's going to make it work? Rogers up the middle is going to be able to shoot to the lead, it looks like. Brock's going to try and battle back there. He's still to the right rear quarter panel. Let's see if he can battle back for the lead. He's got to pinch Zach Rogers down. Has to make sure the 6 doesn't clear him, and I don't think he has yet. Brock's still right up against that wall. He's now got drafting help from Kolano, and he's going to lead that lap, and I think he's going to have the preferred line going into turn 1. Rogers tried it. It almost worked. Now Kolano says, thank you very much, William Brock. I'll try pushing you to the lead and move to second myself, but Rogers still on that inside line trying to make things happen. And behind him, 5th place now is Benny Watson. So the battle for that points lead is still going on between the 6 and the 75 as Rogers gets moved up the track, courtesy of Mitchell Collins. But now Collins has to check up and lift as I believe Patrick Smith is finally coming to pit road in the 77. He is. So with him coming to pit lane, looks like these drivers would have been able to go maybe about 22 to 23 laps. We got to count in the pacing laps that Patrick Smith was able to save fuel. So we're going to see the fuel window open for these drivers somewhere within the next 3 to 4 laps for them to be able to make it the rest of the way. Ryan Butcher was in the 4 wide situation, which I think was a stack up of drivers trying to get around Patrick Smith when he came to pit road. Mitchell's going to move around for 5th place on Collins. And Benny Watson continuing to show good long run speed. He restarted back on lap 14 in the 12th position. He's now up in the top 10 and 4th. And another guy that's making some great strides. How about our Pucaco winner, J Qualls, now up in the top 10 and 7th. And don't count out Jordan Lopez. He is still lingering there. He's currently scored in 10th place. He is still there. As a matter of fact, 3 of the 4 Blue Oval Automotive cars are up here inside the top 15. Jose Mills in 8th, and there you see Trey Wright, dead last in points, moving around teammate Jordan Lopez for a position, which I believe would have been for 12th place. William Brock continues to show the way, though, as we are now past the halfway point. And I think it's pretty clear as of right now, it's going to be a money stop under green flag conditions. Which team is going to rise to the occasion? They're all so bunched up here. I mean, you got only a second and a half separating the top 10. So a good pit stop could gain you the race lead, even if you're running back as far as maybe 10th, 11th, 12th place. All depends on when you pit, what kind of a pit stop you have, how much traffic you have to deal with, and how good of a long run car you've got too. James Qualls, Nathan Hudson, 3 wide back there. I think that was with Michael Norman. Norman on the top side. Qualls has to back out of that battle as he was pinned down the inside line. It's now Hudson and Norman battling for the 8th spot. Traffic to deal with yet again up ahead. This time it's going to be Charles Sandfer who brought out the first caution, the only caution up to this point. Sandfer still in the lead lap in 39th. But I don't think that's going to last very long. Nobody up here as far as a teammate for him to be able to throw blocks or be an ally to. We haven't really seen Shelton, Deaver, or Matthews up at the front of the field all day. I think the highest running of them is Jessica Shelton. I'm not really certain at the moment where she is running. They're going to counter Sandfer out of turn 2. William Brock easily moves to the inside. He'll clear the 0-3, and Rogers says, okay, this is my opportunity. I'm going to go back to the bottom again. Ooh, that car got really tight. He had to lift a lot and checked up everybody behind him, including Kolano. That's going to give a big lead to William Brock, which may not necessarily be such a good thing either. That's going to give whoever gets second place out of this 3-wide battle 4 wide, 5 wide. Norman and Collins on the apron. That's going to give whoever takes the second position a big run on the 88 on one of these straightaways. Looks like it will be Rogers who will keep second place. We've got more traffic to deal with up ahead. The slower car of Thibodeaux once more. Carter Friesen also off the pace. We saw him up inside the top 10 in the first 10 laps of this race, but he is now back in 36th. And I don't think he's been to pit road. Phil Parker's also back there in the 74. So not certain what happened with Carter Friesen. Probably something to do with that pit stop back on lap 12. Just like we saw happen with Thibodeaux. And boy, they are getting racy back here. They were 3 wide, 4 wide with Garcia, Norman, LaPlante. And all this battling going on as they are closing in on the 33 of Thibodeaux. Rogers tried to use Thibodeaux the last time they encountered him as a pick to take the race lead. Will he do so again? Well, Carter Friesen's even more off the pace than Thibodeaux right now. Thibodeaux, we saw just how slow he was. And he's about to bypass Carter Friesen, which would not be for position. Oh, they're going to have to go 3 wide. Look at Brock. Oh my goodness, this is going to be crazy. Where does Rogers go? He's going to try and shoot the middle. Kolano going up the middle as well. Where do you guys go on the back straightaway is the question. Brock's going to clear. Where did Nathan Hudson come from? The 24. He's going to go 3 wide to the bottom for the lead. From absolutely out of nowhere. Brock's going to use the outside line, though, along with Rogers. They'll keep first and second. Kolano now ducks down to the inside for second place. But how about Hudson? What a move right there. He almost got himself the race lead. Got a lot of hungry rookies in this field, and 2 of them are up here at the front trying to get their first career win, trying to join Jacob Thibodeaux and Nathan Ormond as rookie winners this season. Kolano out of Michael Norman Motorsports. Nathan Hudson out of Northeast Motorsports. And Brock's coming to pit road. Here we go. The money stop. Looks like he may be one of the few that's going to come to pit road this time. Looks like a couple of others towards the rear of the field are coming. Kyle Matthews, Ryan Brommer, Ryan Acosta. Looks like that's Cody Lamas, Matt Haas, Levi McIntyre, and I can't tell who the other car back there is. That's Nathan Ormond, along with Dylan Young. So William Brock's thrown down the gauntlet. He was the first one to come to pit road. So I think the hand's kind of forced of Zach Rogers. I think he's going to have to come this time to counter the fresh tires that William Brock's going to get. It's like a couple of cars going to stay out. Trey Wright's going to take the lead as Rogers is in with Kolano, Hudson, Mitchell, Watson, and boy, there's a lot of them coming to pit road this lap. J Millz, Jessica Shelton, James Qualls, Mitchell Collins. All the way further back there, you got Johnny Gardner, Cole Baker, Adam Garcia, Matthew Rodriguez. All on pit lane. Cole Deaver, Vince Almariego, Charles Belding. Macklin was on pit road, Carson Gum, Ryan Butcher. That turned the race lead over to Trey Wright. And he's going to come to pit road this time. Actually, it wasn't Macklin on pit road. It was his teammate Keith Batson. As Trey Wright hits pit road, Jesse Turner, Jordan Lopez, Michael Norman, Marcus Saatchi, and Aaron Macklin now in the 93. 10 cars back on pit road of Ryan Acosta. Don't know if they're having to serve a penalty or not, or maybe he missed his pit stall. So now, as Jesse Turner actually led that lap on pit road, now the question is, who does the lead cycle around to? Looks like this is the battle for it right now, and I don't think William Brock's going to get it. I think Zach Rogers is going to take it. Nathan Hudson looks like he may move to second. And Brock, who has led this race, this entire race really up to this point, looks like he will slot back to third as, look at Hudson. Big run on the front straightaway. He wants the lead from the 6, and that's going to bring William Brock back into this conversation very quickly. Can Hudson in a one-on-one clear Rogers for the lead? He's got him cleared, and he's going to take the spot. Nathan Hudson will move to the race lead. His teammate Jacob Thibodeaux had to do it in a 3-wide photo finish at the Speedway of Las Vegas. Can another Blue Oval, or another Northeast Motorsports Chevrolet rookie do it here at Michigan? Still a long ways to go in this one, though. 13 laps remaining as they just hit the line. There you see it. Hudson's the leader. Rogers in second. William Brock's in third. Jack Mitchell now in fourth, but he's got some right side damage. Fifth is T Wright. Battle is on for sixth. Benny Watson and Austin Kolano. Eighth place right now is J Qualls. Ninth is Ryan Brommer. So Brommer, who I believe came to pit road the same lap as William Brock did, gained a lot of track position after this. Same did Kyle Matthews, who is now going to take ninth and move Brommer back to 10th. Jesse Turner is in 11th. 12th, Jose Millz. 13th, Michael Norman. 14th is Patrick Smith. 15th will be Ryan Butcher. 16th, Jordan Lopez. Carson Gum is in 17th. 18th, Mark Saatchi. 19th place is Aaron Macklin, and Cody Lamas right now completes your top 20. 21st is Austin LaPlante. 22nd, Johnny Gardner. 23rd, Mitchell Collins. He lost a lot of positions on that round of pit stops. 24th is Matt Haas. 25th, Keith Batson. 26th, Vince Almariego. 27th right now is Jessica Shelton. 28th, Cole Baker. 29th, Charles Belding. Adam Garcia is in 30th. Cole Deaver back in 31st. 32nd is Levi McIntyre. Dylan Young in 33rd. 34th place right now is Matthew Rodriguez, another driver who lost a lot of positions on pit road. 35th is Phil Parker. Actually, now it's Nathan Ormond, as he's going to try and take the spot away, moving Phil Parker back to 36th, and that is the last car on the lead lap. Everybody else that's still running is one lap down. Ryan Acosta, who had to serve some kind of a penalty, or else he missed his pit stall on when he first came to pit road. He is now one lap down in 37th. Charles Sandfer 38th. Carter Friesen is now 39th. And Jacob Thibodeaux is 2 laps down, about to maybe go a 3rd lap down before this race is over. He is dead last. Or did they already pass the 33? I saw they were closing in on him. Oh, they already passed him. I think he's now 3 laps down. No, I guess he's only 2. Guess he had stayed out still when everybody else was on pit road. They're now going to get around Ryan Acosta. That's going to, I believe that is him being put a lap down now, unless that put him a 2nd lap down. That is an up-to-speed machine that is now separating 1st and 2nd from this battle now for 3rd between William Brock and Jack Mitchell. And you go back to Nathan Hudson making that move when they had the fresh tires, getting up to speed. He was able to clear Zach Rogers on the inside line. The one time we've really all this race seen that inside line actually work, and it might have been a move that's going to get him this victory. You look at Nathan Hudson in his first 8 races of the season. Comes into this race in that critical 30th position in the points. So a victory could do tremendous results for this 2014. '24 car has gone to victory lane every season so far. Ryan Butcher put the 24 car in victory lane back at the Pensacola Road Course in Season 1. Alexander Rowe put the 24 in victory lane, first rookie to put it in victory lane in Season 2. I'm trying to remember what the track was. I can picture it, but I can't think of the name. All right, now Nathan Hudson trying to make it the 3rd straight season that the 24 car goes to victory lane. Look at him back here. Benny Watson on the apron on T Wright and Jack Mitchell. Watson trying to get every position he can as this is a 3-wide battle for 4th. Looks like Mitchell on that outside line is going to prevail. William Brock has got some damage now on the right side of his machine as he's battling with Ryan Acosta, who is off the lead lap. Right now it's a mono-e-mono. The rookie Nathan Hudson in a Chevrolet, the veteran Zach Rogers in a Dodge. Rogers already has a win this season. Came 2 weeks ago at Springfield. He also comes into this race the current overall points leader. So right now, I think he'd be the one that'd be willing to take some risks in making moves for this race lead, potentially this race win. And I keep wondering, you see there Brock has now cleared Ryan Acosta. Does he have anything for the top 2? He led the first 30, 35 laps of this race. He now finds himself back in third. Does he have any time to close up and battle these two to take the race lead back? Traffic could be a factor. Nathan Ormond, Matthew Rodriguez, Phil Parker not too far ahead, along with Carter Friesen. They may catch them in these final 5 laps. So this is not over by a long shot. But looks like at this moment it's going to come down between 6 drivers. Everybody else is kind of fallen back, almost 5 seconds back to 7th place J Qualls. So you got Hudson, Rogers, Brock, T Wright, Jack Mitchell, and Benny Watson. Hudson's looking for his first career win as a rookie. Rogers looking for his second win of the season. Overall points leader. William Brockling for his first win since season 1. Started on the pole. T Wright's dead last in the points. Still even just looking for his first top 10 of the year. Jack Mitchell's looking for his first career win since taking the season opening green flag at Daytona in season 1. And Benny Watson, who up until last week was leading the points, second in the standings coming to this one, he's also looking for his first win on the year. 3.5 laps to go. It'll be 3 to go when Hudson hits the line next time by. Looks like the gap between himself and that traffic not nearly as close as I thought it originally was, so maybe that traffic will not come into play. So Zach Rogers, if he's got anything for Hudson, he may have to do it sooner rather than later. I don't think he can wait. Only issue is if he does do it this early on, it's going to slow he and the 24 car down. That's going to bring William Brock back into the conversation. And Brock's had the best car of the day, it seems, at least when he was out in front. It's about a straightaway separating Nathan Hudson from Carter Friesen. So I don't necessarily know if they're going to close in on that 37 car before we take the checkers or not. Friesen drives for his own team. He has no alliances with anybody. Don't know how much of a moving chicane he would be if these leaders catch him in these final 2 laps. If Rogers makes a move, he's going to have to make the move dive bombing into the corner and try and slide up in front of Hudson. Kind of what Hudson was able to do to him after they all finished their cycle of green flag pit stops. Brock is back on the bumper of the 6. Then you got the lap machine of R Acosta. 4th place Jack Mitchell. 5th place T Wright. You can hear the cars idling up front. Rogers had to back off a little bit there going into that corner. I don't know if that was on purpose to space himself from the 24. Try and give himself a little bit of a run here as the white flag is in the air. 1 more lap to go. That gap might allow Rogers to be able to get a run here on the back straightaway. We'll see. They are going to catch that 37, maybe in 3 and 4. Is Rogers setting up the 24 of Hudson to use the 37 as a pick for the race lead and the win? Where is Carter Friesen going to go? Where is Nathan Hudson going to go? Into turns 3 and 4. Hudson keeps it down on the bottom. Friesen's down there as well. Hudson's going to keep it on the inside. No way that Rogers can get to the outside line. Nathan Hudson's going to pick up his first win in his career as a rookie. He wins in the Irish Hills of Michigan. Nine races so far this season, and 33% of the races have been won so far by rookies. We had a great rookie class coming into this 3rd season of the Duracell Cup Series. And so far we've had Thibodeaux win at Las Vegas, Ormond win at Bristol, and here today Nathan Hudson is going to win at Michigan International. And we go back to that move he made on Zach Rogers just after the pit stop cycles were completed. He made the inside line work on fresh tires and held them all off to capture his first career Duracell Cup Series victory. The driver that came in this race 30th in the point standings takes the win. It's only his 2nd top 10 of the season, his first top 5, and obviously his first victory. And a race that really was dominated by Northeast Motorsports. William Brock led up to that green flag pit stop, and then Hudson led the rest of the way. Standings are official now. Nathan Hudson, did he just clinch himself a spot into the playoffs as a rookie? And for the third straight year, the number 24 car has gone to victory lane, albeit with a third different driver. Butcher back in Season 1, Alexander Rowe in Season 2, and now Hudson here in Season 3. Zach Rogers obviously would have loved to have been the first repeat winner this season and pick up his second victory in 3 races, but a great points day nonetheless still for the guy who came in the points leader. He'll finish second. William Brock going to bring it home in third after leading a majority of this race before the green flag pit stop. Jack Mitchell, great run for him, a well-needed run after the hardships of Pukekohe last week. He's going to finish with 4th. T Wright, another driver struggling in points that needed a good run, got it, a top 5 for the guy that came into this race dead last in points. Well, Benny Watson's going to lose some more points to Zach Rogers, but he will obviously stay up in the second position in the standings. The consistency continues for the 75 team as he'll get 6th. J Qualls, after getting that victory last week, follows it up with a 7th place run here today. A Kolano, we saw him up in the top 5 most of the day. He'll finish it out with a solid 8th. And Ryan Brommer, Kyle Matthews, we saw those two be some of the first to hit pit road along with William Brock when that green flag cycle began. They reaped the rewards of the faster, fresher tires. And they bring it home 9th and 10th. Jesse Turner finishes in 11th. Michael Norman in 12th. Ryan Butcher 13th. 14th for J Millz. Patrick Smith in 15th. Jordan Lopez will no longer be the only driver to have taken a checkered flag here at Michigan. He'll finish in 16th. Cody Lama 17th. Aaron Macklin, Johnny Gardner, and Marcus Saatchi are going to complete your top 20. You look on down through the remainder of the finishing results, and there were a lot of guys that were up there towards the front that kind of faded back after some issues during the green flag pit stops. The most notable, Matthew Rodriguez, finishing in 34th position. He was up inside of the top 10, top 15 before the pit stop cycles began, and he finishes on the lead lap, but in 34th place. And you look further down there at drivers that had issues today. Ryan Acosta had missed his pit stall or something like that, had a penalty. He finishes a lap down 37th. Carter Friesen, not sure what happened with him, but he was off the pace, finishes 38th. Charles Sandfer brought out our only caution of the day. He'll finish 39th. And Jacob Thibodeaux, boy, it sounds like a broken record each and every week. Thibodeaux needs a good run, and at the end of the day, Thibodeaux does not have a good run. He struggled at Springfield. He struggled at Pukekohe. He struggled here today. All racetracks where he was positioned in points where he needed a good run. He's dropped from 30th down to 35th, down to 37th, and he may drop even further in the points after today's race because a lot of drivers that were behind him had some decent runs today. T Wright, dead last in points. Jesse Turner was 38th in points, and he finished decently today up inside of the top 15. So this is not good for the rookie out of Northeast Motorsports, Jacob Thibodeaux, in his quest to make it into the playoffs. But the other rookie out of Northeast Motorsports, looking pretty good right now, taking the checkered flag here today. It'll keep him in the top 30 in points. Nathan Hudson will head into next week as the defending winner. So we wrap things up here in the Irish Hills. Get ready for next week. We are going to be going to Pikes Peak International, which, if I remember correctly now, that was where Alexander Rowe got his win as a rookie in the 24 last year. So we were coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the 24 car going to victory lane. Well, just earlier than that, just one race earlier than that, Nathan Hudson puts the 24 back in victory lane here at Michigan. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, to get part of the crew today. We have shown you your full finishing results. These are what your point stands look like heading into Pikes Peak next week. Until then, I've been Seth Cole. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.